All right, folks, welcome back. Today is Friday, March 22nd, 2024, and it's about 4:30 Pacific time. So the market's been closed for a couple of hours now, and this is time for the $1 million portfolio update. I'm a week late again. I've been meaning to do this at the mid-month mark, but I just keep running out of time. So it's going to be somewhere between mid-month and third week of the month, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we are, and then I'll give you some thoughts on how things are going and all of that. So looking at the portfolio as of market close, we're sitting right at $1.1 million, which is great. This is like a 3% change from last month, and we're almost at the break-even point for the year, which, if you think about it, really sucks, because I think the S&P 500 is up huge through 2024 so far. And the reason for my underperformance has been that I went into long-term treasuries pretty early and kind of sat on the sidelines with the cash position for much longer than I have. And essentially, I was priced out of getting back into it with QQQ.
You have a gambling problem.
So let's take a look at the allocation, even though we are fully invested now, and see where we stand. So if you look at this, my realty income and Schwab dividend are right at 15%. So they're right in line with where they should be. Gold is not, it's under 1.5%. There was a huge run up lately in gold, and I sold out some of these positions. Not really sold out, my call options got called on me, which is fine, because it had a huge run up. Because that was one of my goals, was not to sell anything once I buy it for the year, except for when we get to a rebalancing time period. So even though the gold was reduced to a little under 1.5%, I didn't really sell it. It was just called away from me. But then if you look at the rest of this portfolio, it's really interesting, because if you look at what the triple Qs and the QQQs are, I only have 22% together, and it's meant to be 50% of the portfolio. Well, where's the rest of this going? Oh, the rest of it is sitting right here with long-term bonds. I have 50% in TMF.
You have a gambling problem.
TMF is the triple leverage long-term treasury bond. It's basically 3 times TLT. And I picked this up when it had a huge rundown. I think it was like 5% last week or something like that. It was pretty ridiculous. And I just knew, I was convinced that, we're at the cusp of when rates are going to start going down.
Well, you have a gambling problem.
And just as everyone expected, it's not happening in March. The Fed just met this week, and they kind of released their notes saying that they're not doing it, keeping it steady, but they still see 3 rates decreases in 2024, which means that long-term treasury is going to benefit when we see those reductions. Now, if they're 25 basis point each, that's going to be 0.75%. That's pretty significant on long duration bonds, so we should see a big pop. Does this take me out of my allocation? Absolutely. Let me bring it back up so you can take a look at it. I'm supposed to be in 50% stocks, 25% long-term bonds, 15% realty REITs or dividend large cap value, and then 10% gold. And we're nowhere near that, as you can see. And it's because I'm convinced that this is the time to be in long-term bonds, even if I'm early. And it looks like I'm super early to this party. But you know what? It's going to be okay. And because we're using leverage, I think I previously mentioned that I'm going to do rebalancing more often, maybe on a quarterly basis. So let's see what happens by June, and then we'll see if we make our moves. But in any case, this is where we are today. And we're just going to enjoy the nice run up, even for this portfolio, while it lasts. All right, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.